Maing piyesta ka natong tanan. Ako yung gituyo o gamit ang pulo nga piyesta precisely because the very essence of the Holy Eucharist, the very solemnity we are practically celebrating within the ordinary time of the year is a feast. Usa ka kumbira, usa ka bangkete. And if we are talking about a banquet, then we have to eat. Kinsa may moadto ninyo og kumbira kuno niya mopauli nga gutman? No, that is always a very important question to ask. Where have you been? Well, I went to a feast. And why are you hungry? I did not eat there. That's not the right spirit. Since it is a feast, we have to, whether we like it or not, eat. And this is the very essence of the Eucharist. We come here to partake of the meal. No, it is not just even a feast that only happens once in a year, no? But it's a meal. It's actually a daily routine. It is a sustenance. And this is the very essence of the very Eucharistic gestures that Jesus actually has done in today's Gospel reading, the episode of the Last Supper. But what is so significant about this is, it is a constantly offered sacrifice. It never ends. It is a continuous celebration. In fact, today's second reading from the letter to the Hebrews introduces to us one of the so-called, scholars in the Bible would always use the word hapax. Hapax legomenon or hapax expression or ephapax. Meaning to say, it is only found in that particular book or in a particular gospel or in a particular literature. And what is this expression? The expression is once and for all. And this is something that we have to understand very carefully because there are people who question the liturgical celebration that we are having. Nga every time we celebrate the Mass, we kill the Lord. Oh my God, if there are 10 masses in your parish, you kill the Lord 10 times. And then, it's not only one parish. So all over the world, how many times is Christ killed? And that makes the argument or the what we call the description very, very obviously weird. But it is not repeatedly killing the Lord because He has already done that once and for all. Sa makausa lamang og alang sa tanan. No? That is a very important context or concept that we have to understand. But what it is really is, it is a memorial. It is making alive what the Lord has already done for all of us. And this is where we see a very beautiful description with a huge margin in the sense that every now and then, we need to purify ourselves in order to partake of the meal. And this is the reason why the sacraments are constantly there for us. So every time we come to the Eucharistic celebration, sayang o dili kompleto, it's not complete if we do not partake of the meal. And this is the very beautiful challenge that we are actually being addressed today. So what this celebration is all about is a beautiful reminder that while the Lord constantly calls us to such a banquet of His body and blood, we are being sustained as we continue on our journey of faith. But this is not just a spiritual nourishment because we are embodied spirits. So unsaon man pagkaon sa espiritu, kundili mukaon usab ang lawas. This is not even a time when we talk about diet. Well, diet is generally understood as taking something. But we have to take in so that the body will also be nourished. And when the body is nourished, the spirit is also very much part of the nourishment. And so with the most holy body and blood of Christ, I would even say we are a privileged community here because we do not just receive, apart from the pandemic, we do not just receive the body, we also have the blood. Bisag mahal ang Isag mahal ang bino. No? Kaysa kadaghanan sa mga parokya, kuan naman yun, body of Christ. Nabi ito, uban mo reklamo, Padre, nganong body raman? Ang tubag po ana. Because you know, if you go to the market, or if you are preparing for dinner or something, when you cut the meat, there is already blood in the meat. But here we are expressing it in the most concrete and creative way as it is. That's the reason why mura kog nangampanya nga manimba mo dinhi kay mag-body and blood mi diri. No? But of course, it is always there for all of us. And I hope we are also there for Him. So hinaut-unta, masabta nato nga, og di ta mo kaon, sayang og kulang ang piyesta. If we do not eat, the banquet will not be complete. So let us eat. But then, another thing would come to perspective here because it's not just only the food, but it's also the word. Now remember what the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 3 says. Okay? Not by bread does man live, but also by the words that come from the mouth of God. And this is something that we also have to put into a complete picture. The Word, and that Word who became flesh, is now being partaken in a celebration, in a feast, usa ka bangkete, where we are all called to eat. No? Ug ako pa'y pasultion, walay eat or not, it's always eat and eat. No? Wala tay choice, but we have to try ourselves to be worthy to receive such a wonderful gift of nourishment, of life, and of sustenance. Amen.